It's the final stop of the Alabama Bass Trail presented by Phoenix Boats. Kay Donaldson, Robbie Floyd here at McFarland Park at Lake Pickwick. And really, there are so many teams that could win the Alabama Bass Trail North Division. I mean, we get down to this final stop that was supposed to be at the start of the year.
You know, and fishing has totally changed, and a lot of the guys that were really, really anxious about this tournament in February, not so sure that they can pull it off in September. So it's going to be a lot of feelings going on out there today, and we're going to see how it turns out.
But instead of winter, springtime, like we expect at the start of the season, this is summertime fishing for these guys.
Yeah, we really have not made that transition. And looking at the calendar a little bit out, it looks like it's going to cool off next week. It always is like that. But yeah, we're still in a summertime pattern. It's going to be really cool to see what these guys bring in today. Are they going to try to dominate with smallmouth, which has really been the key here at Pickwick in the past? So it's going to be interesting to see what they bring in today.
Charlie Cummings, Greg Pugh, they're on top right now, but there's still one stop to go.
Charlie Cummings, Greg Pugh. Good luck, ladies. You got a slim lead, but hey, everybody's chasing you. Everybody's chasing you, Greg. You win this thing and wrap it up.
As we roll up, we see boat 55 over there fishing a point right here, catching them on these ledges. Looks like water drops off from 2 down to 8 foot of water and stuff. And what they're doing is they're just working that point line and stuff, throwing, looks like a chatterbait. There's a creek that runs through here, and what they're doing is they're working this little creek. They're working the edges of this creek, see if they can get an early morning bite. As we said earlier, there's a point coming out. You got an underwater weed line. Throwing chatterbait topwater and stuff, trying to get those reaction strikes coming out of that grass. Water temp's about 82 degrees this morning and stuff. No wind. Doesn't look like there's any current yet, so it's going to be really kind of slow and tough right now. As the current picks up, those fish will be more active in this area. Charlie's got one. Little one. Nope. He caught that grass that we're on top of.
Little guy.
Little guy.
This is Anglers Channel's Chris Brown, and it's a beautiful sunrise here on Pickwick Lake this morning for the last stop of the Alabama Bass Trail's North Division. Like Kay and Robbie said earlier, these guys were expecting this tournament to be held in February, but due to inclement weather, it caused a shuffle in the schedule. These guys are really having to draw upon a summer pattern as temperatures are still very hot and water temperatures are in the 80s. I followed a few teams out from takeoff this morning, and what I've seen so far is exactly what the guys predicted. Everyone's trying to get a topwater bite early. Here we see past winners Mitch and Candler getting their first fish of the day. Just down the lake, we spoke with Jason Holloway and Jeremy Barnett.
We were in the right spot. All the other boats were in our line with us.
So you kind of got a crowd this morning, don't you?
Yes, sir. That means there's fish here.
While we're sitting here, just that I can count, there's over 20 boats fishing, but as you can see, the further up you go, there's more. And what these guys are doing is the creek channel, river ledges, it's 28 feet, and up here it comes up in 6 foot of water. So what they're doing is those bass are pulling up here to get out of that current and stuff. And so all these guys are fishing this grass line. Even on the way down here, as we noticed, you could see on your GPS where the contour lines for the river ledge was. They were just rows of boat.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, official truck of the Alabama Bass Trail, and by TH Marine, improving your boat from transom to trolling motor. There's more to come.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
So our mission statement here at Bill Penny Motor Company is to enrich the lives of our employees and our customers and the communities we serve. And it really begins and ends with people. It started with that kind of philosophy with my granddad and went through my dad. Growing up around the business, I remember being just a kid washing cars and meeting these customers. Now I'm a grown adult and they get to buy vehicles from us and hopefully serve their next of kin for generations to come. For the whole story, visit us at BillPennyToyota.com, where people always come first.
What could 148,000 people possibly have in common? As different as each of the members of America's First are, they all like it when good things happen to them. Like when their savings earn a higher return than they can get with a bank, and when their loans and credit cards have lower rates. And they like taking care of business from wherever they are. Why not join us today? America's First Federal Credit Union.
You sons of fishes. Ain't enough fish on this lake for 2 clubs.
Really? Well, we see plenty of fish live with Panoptics.
Yep. Dang, we should get Panoptics. Maybe we'll just take yours.
What's going on here? You boys have license?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
There he is. Oh, I got him.
You've witnessed the action, the thrill, and the competition of the Alabama Bass Trail. Isn't it time you got involved? Coming in 2019, over $47,000 paid out for each event. No entry fee championship. 85 grand up for grabs, including a new Phoenix. More than $500,000 in cash and prizes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and sign up now at alabamabasstrail.org. The Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series, presented by Phoenix Boats.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Robbie Floyd. A rescheduled event, what should have been the kickoff, becomes the final stop for the North Division. Pickwick Lake, where the points are tallied and the Angler of the Year is won. Pickwick Lake is known for its quality bass, but will our points leaders, Cummings and Pugh, be able to bring it for the title? Let's get back out on the water and see who's catching them.
Show them to me.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I didn't hear what you said.
No, you're good.
We can't hear.
We're 70 years old. We don't know if we can do this all day or not. You get 70, it gets sort of hard.
All right, here we are. We're following Pugh and Cummings, the Angler of the Year leaders, but only leading by 3 points. Really tight race. We followed them since blastoff, ran all the way down this lake, all the way down to this spot, fishing this big grass flat right now, trying to get a top water bite early before the action really starts. But being only 3 points ahead of number 2, it's going to be really close. So let's see how the number 2 team's doing right now. Chris?
Bill Mayo and Walt Roberts have 2 in the box so far this morning, but as they say, they don't have any size to them. They got to their spot early and had some company around, but caught 2 pretty quick. They've caught a bunch of fish this morning, around 15 or so, just no keepers.
That one ain't gonna help us.
No size. Looks like he's got a little small one. Oh, got off at the boat. He wasn't any size. See, this is what they're looking for on this grass flat, is these little open pocket areas and stuff where a boat or a trolling motor or something might have came through and stuff. And so what they're doing is they're working that top water across this grass. Well, these bass are hanging right on the edges here. And when that top water bait or comes right over it, that's when they'll hammer it. But you gotta find these little holes, that's the key.
Little one. Caught a decent one in like first 5 minutes. The morning bite seemed to be pretty good earlier in the week, but like yesterday we didn't even get the morning at home.
and then run some of the same places later on, and you can't stop catching. Well, I don't say that, but you get several bites.
Right. When we first came in here, Charlie and them were fishing this little ridge from this little creek feeding in off the main river, and then working the grass line out up here on the shallow weed bed. Well, now we moved. Now we're fishing the actual river ledge where the river and the weed line meet. So now we're sitting in a deeper water, throwing up shallow, where earlier we were working the really shallow grass line. So let's see if this produces a little bit better fish. Well, John, here we are, mid-morning report, Pickwick Lake, the 5th and final stop for the Alabama Bass Trail North Division. What was supposed to be Tournament 1, now Tournament 5. It ain't cold. Yeah. It's getting warmer. Oh, yeah. What have you guys seen this morning on the few folks you stopped on? We have seen a very, very slow bite. These warm temperatures, this hot water, we're looking at 83-degree water temp, no current, this water fluctuation. It's just a guessing game. These guys they just throw their hands up. They don't know what to do. Yep. There's probably 40, 50 boats in this 6-mile stretch here of the river. Exactly. They're stacking here like cordwood. But now you're starting to see them move. You're starting to see them make some runs. And a lot of guys going, downstream. A lot of guys, they're moving around quite a bit. So what do you think the afternoon bite's going to be? I think it's going to be, they're going to push them, these guys. Earlier, like you said this morning, we counted 50 boats right in this area and stuff. And so now this topwater bite, they like you said, they've worked it as long as they can. Now I think they're going to start moving out more towards the ledges, fishing that deeper water, because obviously this shallow water is just not getting it. Well, the few keepers we have seen called this morning, obviously on top water or top this grass, but they're barely keepers. Yeah. They're just measurable, seeing a lot of short fish. So they're going to turn on at some point, and the one thing about this deal, somebody's going to catch them and catch them good. Oh, yeah.
This portion of the program is sponsored in part by Sweet Home Alabama, by Garmin, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, will be right back.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it. Progressive helps keep you out there.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
Here we are, the second place team in the Angler of the Year standings. They've been fishing this grass line all morning, picking up 1 or 2 here. They've currently got 2 or 3 keepers in the boat and stuff. What they're doing is there's gas lines that run across the river here. Well, when they buried the gas lines, they brought in big boulder rocks and piled on top of the gas lines to help the erosion problem. So what these guys are doing is when the current comes down, it creates eddies over the rocks. and stuff, and those fish will lay in those eddies to prevent, so they don't have to fight the current. And so what these guys are doing now is they're working those gas lines and those rocks, trying to catch those fish in those eddies.
Y'all been up here all day? First stop. Waiting for them to start school.
They've been here.
Has it?
Yeah. Good ones.
Right?
Yeah, it's a good one. Go out there. I don't know if it's a fast or a strong. Oh, come on!
Ricky Campbell and Chris Webb decided early this morning it would be Chris Stapleton tunes for the day and staying put for the duration. They have their spot, and that's what they were working today. And he's hooked up.
Get about ready to leave while I go.
Well, John, it's the calm before the storm. It's almost weigh-in time here at the Alabama Bass Trail North Division finale here on Pickwick Lake. We talked about mid-morning, but then went back out and kind of went our separate ways. You guys found number 2 in points.
Yep.
Bill Mayo, Walt Roberts. What did you see from those guys?
Whew, they were struggling just like everybody else. The changing water conditions, this hot temperature, the 85-degree water temp, the fluctuating water. They just threw them off. Their game plan had totally changed from what they had practiced with.
It's September 22nd, and it's 89 degrees. It's hot.
Very hot.
And nothing's changing. It's just slower and slower and slower. We ran up to the dam, found a few folks, talked to a few folks. Zero happening up there. We may have saw one other fish being caught the rest of the afternoon. It's been a tough bite.
It was. We were lucky. We were fortunate enough. We went up in the canal and found one group of anglers that really found a gem and diamond in the rough. We watched them catch 3, 4, 5, then started culling. It was crazy out of this one spot and stuff. So it's just a crapshoot, basically.
Well, we did hear anglers earlier this morning say they were waiting for it later in the day.
Yes.
One angler told me, or one team told me that they felt like the last flight teams may have an advantage.
Right.
One thing about it, somebody's going to catch them. They're going to lay them in right there. And somebody's going to win $10,000 today in the Alabama Bass Trail North Division finale.
This portion of Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, Sweet Home Alabama, and by America's First Federal Credit Union. Stay with us, there's more to come.
Taming the beast isn't easy, but the bigger your electronics, the more you have on the line. In conditions like this, you need the KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount. The only electronics mount designed and built to be rock solid. No movement, no matter how heavy your gear. A marine-grade mount for fresh or salt water that's monstrously strong. The KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
Some things ain't worth keeping. Yesterday's traditions, today's adventures, tomorrow's memories. Now that's something worth keeping. Fish Alabama and find your keeper.
For more information, visit fishalabama.org.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are outdoors, like a trip to Lake Gunnersville. First stop on the Alabama Bass Trail. Catch anything? Nice. Or head to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. 468 holes of golf heaven. What's the time say?
Best public golf on the planet.
Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
Omar, look. Omar, check this out. Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if you do laser hair removal for men. Notice that my hips are off the ground? And then I'm gonna pike my hips back into downward dog. Hey, the rain stopped.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it.
Tell me about that dental procedure again. I can still taste it in my mouth.
Progressive helps keep you out there.
We've already got a leader right now. We had 3 boats weigh in earlier. Right now, Jason Wisenot and Wayne Wisenot, they said, I've got to get it over with. 13:61, a good start for the day, no question. They also have the Mountain Dew Big Bass right now at 426. What kind of fish was that? Do you remember?
Theirs was a largemouth.
Largemouth, 426 a largemouth. So Team Wisenot looking good right now. It's up to everybody else to knock them off and take that $10,000 prize.
How'd you catch them today?
We was fishing shallow gravel bars with a football jig. Every one of them come off a 3/4 ounce football jig.
Did you catch them later in the day, earlier in the day?
No, we caught a limit pretty quick, and we just kept coiling up by ounces, and we kind of just ran out of fish and tried to come up here to, try to upgrade, and we had one try to, kick out on us, so we decided to come on in instead of losing a pound.
Let's find out what Brandon and Austin have. Look like their 5-fish limit is going to be enough to take the lead. 14.93, a new leader on the Alabama Bass Trail presented by Phoenix Boats here in Lake Pickwick.
Tell me how you caught your fish today, Austin.
All on a Carolina rig.
You're right.
All on a Carolina rig. Early, late.
All through the day.
All through the day.
Yep.
Did the current play a factor in your fish today?
It did later in the day.
Did later in the day. When did you catch your big fish today?
Probably 10:30.
14.93 was the lead. 16.68. We've got a new pair on the top of the leaderboard, Bell and Lance in boat number 41.
We caught them all on topwater. I picked up one rod all day long.
All day long. Did you catch them early, later?
All day.
All day.
All day.
Did the current seem to play a factor in today?
Well, the current's always a factor. It's Tennessee River. You ain't got current, yeah, it's going to hurt. But all our fish were, I don't think there's any deeper than, 4 foot? Probably not.
Sheldon and White going brown today. Let's take a look at 16.68 was our lead. 17.09 for Brad Shelton, Eric White.
All smallmouths. How'd you catch them?
Grassy custom jig.
Grassy custom jigs.
That's right, green pumpkin.
Green pumpkin. Early, late in the day?
Caught them all early. We had a limit by 8:30. Made a couple calls, but we caught them all day till about lunchtime. Then they kind of quit on us.
A new leader, 17.89 for Team Brewer. Little man catch him?
He did. He caught some.
What'd you catch him on today? That's awesome, man. Almost 18 pounds out there. Who would have thunk it, right?
Right, who would have thunk it?
Looking at the Mountain Dew Big Bass, Brian Johnson, Brandon Groves have a 686, but Team Brewer beats that 704. We got a 7-pounder. They were 46 points outside the lead, but they caught them today. Where will it put them and how high up? I'll tell you how high. To the top of the leaderboard for Sam's and Wiggins, 1887. Oh, no.
Don't even say it.
No. It's going to make me sick, too.
Not as much as us.
Restifo and Ingersoll. It takes 1887 to take the lead. They have an expired fish. 1 pound penalty. 1958. We drop it down to 1858. It puts them into second place. How about a round of applause for these guys catching 19 pounds of bass?
You had 19.5 with a 1 fish penalty, put you at 18.58. That's got to be tough. Tell me, I mean.
Doing everything I can not to cry right now. I mean, that just, it hurts. I mean, something like that, something that simple, ends up costing you.
Couple of big guns out here on the Alabama Bass Trail. You got 5 bass a day, and did you big gun it today?
We tried to. We lost a couple of good fish, but got pretty decent bag.
Let's see what decent was. Shut up. You got to be kidding me. It's going to be close. 1943 was the lead. 1989.
It might have been a rainy end to our season, but things ended well for Daniel and Flack. I mean, what about doing what they had to do to make it to the championship?
You know, knowing what is expected of you and knowing that you've got to perform in order to get to that championship. And I know these guys always want to get to the championship. They are a great team. They've been with us since day one. It's always good to see them win.
And let's bring in the two-time winners of the Alabama Bass Trail presented by Phoenix Boats. And man, did you really think you would do it, knowing that you were in 154th, needing that victory?
We knew we had to. We didn't know if it would happen here or not. It's not really typically a good lake for us. It just happened to work out where my partner found a lot of fish. Not so many a lot of fish, but the right kind of fish.
Doing what you had to do, they knew they had to win this tournament to make it into the championship. So their day's done. They'll move on to that championship next month. There's one Angler of the Year title we still had to decide, and these guys took it. You're on top going out, and I could see it. I could feel it with you. There was a ton of pressure, Greg and Charlie, on you, knowing that everybody was looking at you.
It is. You know, there's some great sticks in this Alabama Bass Trail. I mean, all these lakes we go to, you're fishing against the best guys on these lakes, and also in North Alabama, you got some of the best fishermen around. I mean, there's been guys that's fished some of the other tours, some of the big tours, and you fish against them day in and day out, and you better be on your game.
And you've done that. You've big time fished on the FLW Tour. What a way to end the 2018 season of Tour. The only thing left is the ABT Championship, and we'll see you next time right here on Fox Sports Southeast.